It's the third week of May 2021. This is Real World News, which is produced by journalism students at the Queensland University of Technology. My name is Calvin Lee.
And my name is Marco Chen. Here are your headlines.
The US president says he supports a ceasefire in Israel-occupied Gaza. Israel has dropped over 80 tons of explosives in Gaza. 197 people have been killed, among them 92 women and children. Airstrikes targeted a building containing the offices of Associated Press and Al Jazeera, which Israel claims also contained Hamas offices.
Griffith University researchers have developed an antiviral therapy that killed the coronavirus in 99% of infected mice. They use gene silencing RNA technology to attack the virus genome directly. They say the treatment could be available in 2023.
Brisbane City Council has announced the final sites for two West End green bridges. The bridges link the inner city suburbs of West End to Toowong and St Lucia. It's estimated the project will cost $550 million.
The New South Wales Education Minister has announced carrying knives for religious reasons into schools will be banned from tomorrow. It was a response to the Glenwood High School after a 16-year-old boy was stabbed with a religious knife. Sarah Mitchell said legislative change will be needed to fix a legal loophole.
The coronavirus has restricted nightlife in the Valley, specifically the music scene. Here's Ella Holding-McGrath for more.
Play fair. These are the words being echoed across the state by the live music industry. Their calls to action come after strict regulations have been eased for sporting venues, while the entertainment industry still faces comparatively harsh restrictions which are stunting revenue and employment.
I lost my voice last month. I got in quarantine last week. It's all bullshit.
Currently, sporting events are operating with 100% capacity and little enforced social distancing. Yet, in a move that has confused many, the state government refuses to apply similar loosened COVID restrictions to live music venues.
Currently, under the restrictions that are in place by the Queensland Government and the Chief Health Officer, we're about 30% capacity. We're operating in that one person, 2 square metre rule.
The Palaszczuk government has come under fire for these differing restrictions, with outcry for a scientific explanation ringing loud.
I don't think the government understands entirely what it's doing when it comes to its response to the pandemic. The Premier relies on the so-called health advice. If there is health advice that somehow discriminates against the entertainment industry, provide it to us so that you can substantiate these decisions.
But respiratory and virology experts say there is a legitimate difference between sporting and music events when considering the spread of the virus. And that difference is singing.
There's definitely work out there that says that more forced breath, like with singing, pushes loads more virus out. If you have COVID-19, you're infected with the virus.
In a state that's seen such small numbers of cases for consecutive months, however, this explanation isn't enough for the outraged community. And if no changes are made, the live music industry confronts closure of venues and the loss of thousands of jobs. This daunting reality has given rise to a main player in the fight to ease restrictions, the Play Fair petition. It's described as a life or death last chance to support Queensland's music industry.
Just an overview of the Play Fair petition is that we don't see the consistency in having 50,000 people at Suncorp Stadium. You don't get dropped in by a drone to your seat. You mingle through bars, you mingle through everything. So we think there's inconsistency there. So, if it's a risk, what you wouldn't do Suncorp.
Some suggest Queensland should adopt other states' approaches, and industry workers are keen to implement changes that can ensure the safety of patrons while still allowing for larger capacities. However, while the state government remains largely silent regarding the issue, the future of the live music industry remains unsure.
That's the news this week at Real World News. I'm Marco Chen.
And I'm Calvin Lee. Thanks for joining us. See you next time.